This episode of the podcast is brought to you by all the change I found in the couch earlier today. All right, we're here to talk about Cowboy Bebop. So we just ran through all that because we're bored in quarantine. So what do you think?
I liked it.
Yeah?
I don't think I'm in love with it like you are, but I liked it.
It's like one of the quintessential animes. And I think it's almost perfect. Because it has a great, everything. Beginning, middle, and end. You know what I mean?
It has a great everything.
It does. It does have a great everything. Everybody has a good flushed out enough story. You can kind of fill in the blanks. They go about their own things. They have a couple hilarious moments. Everybody goes their separate ways. Spike dies. Spoiler.
Spoiler after I say it.
If you're watching this, spoilers, come on. It's been out for, since 98? Something like that.
Wow. Yeah, so you had time. You had time.
It's only 26 episodes. If you haven't watched it, sorry. Whatever.
Is it 26?
Yeah, I think it's 26.
Oh.
Because the last one's a two-parter, too, as well.
I was shocked that Spike died, though. I really wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that happened, though, because a lot of stories don't have that kind of thing in it. I guess I know it's at the end, but a lot of main characters don't always die. Kind of like an Outlaw Star. You remember watching the first part of that?
Yeah.
Where they had that outlaw lady they were going with. I can't think of her name right now. But she dies in the first 2 episodes. And you think she's going to be a main character.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they help her find the Outlaw Star, the ship. Oop.
Product placement.
Not sponsored by Mountain Dew. Not at all. I wish they would. That'd be awesome. But yeah. I love all the little hints of stuff at first, like Spike, remembering Julia here and there.
Which, Julia, it was so... I hated that. The fact that he was like, hey, I'm here meeting you, and she was just like, I'm dead. It was like a 5-second re-meeting, and then she was just
Well, that
dead.
was part of it, because he'd been looking for her for so long.
Yeah, his whole life, he's been basically looking for her, and then as soon as he finds her, they die.
Yeah, that's why it's so tragic. That's why it's so good.
I mean, they die together, kind of together, in a way.
Sort of. But yeah, the whole movie, he's chasing little ghosts of her. Like when they were on the planet that had the really cold area. It was almost like Alaska, where there were no women.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Said that Julie had been there months earlier, but they used that code name to lure Spike in. And then just kind of
Vicious, right?
Yep, Vicious kind of used that.
Which I love what he did to Vicious, how he just walked in there and he's just like, you know what? I'm going down. I'm going down with a bang.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
Yeah, as I said, everything. I love this anime. Spike has a great backstory, being part of the syndicate, getting out, having that love story with him and Julia, and then Jet he's like an old cop, turned bounty hunter, still has friends, old friends that he was betrayed by at one point, or they give him information. He has kind of a respect between some bounty hunters and cops too, which I thought that was cool. And Faye, she had a bad gambling addiction, which actually kind of made sense. Because when she eventually regains her memories, you see she was a really well-off rich kid.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so it even though she didn't really remember her childhood or any of that, maybe there was still some faint...
subconsciously.
Yeah, of knew. I should have money. I should be able to do whatever I want. Because I'll always be backed up, maybe.
Well, she kind of acted that way anyway. Just taking a bath, relaxing, just doing whatever she wanted all the time, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Because maybe she had that faint remembrance of having a rich life before everything happened. And then going back to her after she eventually regained. I love that whole episode where they go for the Betamax tape to find the tape that was given. Yeah. And that whole little trek was like a good like a third of the episode of them just like going through garbage to get that Betamax, and then they find out they got the wrong thing and they got a VCR.
I loved that when they were at that like antique store or whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, you know what this is?" And the guy puts it in, and it's just a video of her like on the beach or something. And but I love it how he's like, Spike's just like putting out a cigarette
on
it. and he's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" I love that.
And it's like, oh, it's not working, so he starts kicking, and he's like, my ship works better when I kick it. Oh man, well, there goes the kitties running through here. Yeah, I love that. And then Edward's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then because she's like she's pretty much an orphan, to kind of learn things on her own. That's why she's so like very childlike and says things very oddly.
Yeah, I like the whole the chess episode. I really liked that episode.
Oh yeah, with that old guy.
Yeah.
And he beats Ed, and I think he kind of dies at the end.
The old guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you meant Edward. I was like,
no,
what?
no. The old guy, he like kind of dies at the end. I'm pretty. They kind of allude to that. They don't outright say it, but yeah. After you find somebody's worthy after so long.
Yeah, because they did that chess match for like 6 days or something, didn't they?
I think about a week.
Yeah, it said like on the bottom, like 6 days later, and Edward's still just staring at it.
Phase like, are you playing again? Are you playing again? She's like, we haven't stopped playing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I there was that with Ed and being super good at hacking, and then you meet her dad eventually.
Her dad was a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, but he was like out of his mind too.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like annoying that he was like, "Hey, I want you back in my life."
Then he just runs away.
Then he just runs away. I don't know. That was just like, and then she was just like, "Oh my God, like I have somebody," and then like I don't know that part. Like I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, then I think her leaving wasn't very well done. Because they kind of alluded in that episode that she was kind of like Faye was looking for what she was looking for, some place to call her own, finding her own way. And then she said for Ed to do that same thing. And then Ed kind of found her father, which at first I kind of thought, oh, she's going to go with her dad. And then she didn't. And I thought, oh, it's going to be this is where I belong. These are like my family.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, oh, I'm going. I'm leaving.
Yeah, and then takes Ein with her.
Yeah. Well, Ein went after her. Ein didn't want to leave her.
Well, Ein was one of my favorite characters.
The data dog. Yeah, they didn't really explore that a whole lot.
I mean, it's Ein.
I know, but Ein was supposed to be some kind of like data experiment. I don't know. Maybe it's different in the Japanese, but in the English, they didn't explain it a whole lot.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, another episode that I like is when that whatever that alien thing was on the ship.
That mole. Oh, that was that lobster. That wasn't an alien.
Yeah, the lobster, but it was like they thought it was an alien. But
Spike left it in the fridge for a year.
Yeah, and forgot about it. And then but I love how Edward's just like
asleep and just eats it.
And I'm like, how? Because everyone else got real sick.
Hell yeah. I don't know. Just hilariousness beats out logic. If it's funny, it works.
True.
Yeah, I love that episode with that kind of superhuman guy who was like dressed in the weird top hat and suit. He like magically repelled bullets.
That episode was scary.
It was.
That episode was scary. I'm not even gonna lie. I had nightmares about that episode.
Oh yeah. I remember being younger and I'm like, man, this is kind of fucked up. Now I'm older. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of fucked up if you're younger watching.
Yeah, I don't know how kids watch that.
Well, it's not really meant for kids.
I'm just saying, like, kids that had watched that. Because, I mean, if it came out in 98, clearly...
It didn't come here until, like, early 2000s.
Oh,
So I remember watching it on Toonami.
That's what I'm saying. It's on Toonami, so you're saying that kids didn't really watch it? Yeah.
It was on it late at night.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't meant for kids. I didn't say they didn't watch it.
Yeah. The episode was scary, though.
And it was kind of tragic and sad that he was just kind of forced into that, and then they broke his mind down who he was, and he just degraded into just being like an ultimate killing machine, but not who he once was.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really at first I thought Spike was like superhuman, because you see how him being worked on, he gets the fake eye. Like when I first was watching it back when I was I think it was in high school when I saw it. At first I thought Spike was going to be like cybernetically enhanced. But it ended up not being. He was just a normal badass. You know, because you see him getting worked on and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm like, oh no, I guess it makes sense. He just, because Jet had the fake arm too, after he lost it.
Yeah.
And that ambush he was set up on. Things like that. Well, yeah, and I don't know. I don't know. I just like the whole thing altogether. And there's lots of little, like Spike, his ship called the Swordfish. How he had that old guy in The Young Apprentice who fixed it up, and that's where he got it, because it used to be a racing vessel.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I like stuff like that because they didn't explore it, but it makes you feel in the background yourself.
Yeah.
Like somehow Spike befriended this guy, and he used to be a racer. And then he just like, oh, here, take this. At first, I thought that was Spike's dad.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah. But I guess it's not. But he kind of has that fatherly role about him to Spike, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, and yeah, it's not. It was set like in the year 2060 or something like that. So it's not actually that far away from us right now. So we should expect spaceships and stuff pretty soon here.
I doubt it.
Warp gate technology.
I doubt it.
Never know.
Yeah, in the future, but I don't know about in our future.
It's funny, in the 90s, they thought, so far ahead that it was going to be like this.
Yeah, and look at us. Corona.
Yeah. I mean, the plagues have been around for years, centuries, millennia.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. There's also going to be a live action series on Netflix.
Of
Cowboy Bebop.
who's gonna play it?
Who's going to play in it? Do you know who John Cho is?
Probably, if I saw the picture.
He played Harold in Harold and Kumar. Played
means nothing to me.
Mr. Sulu. That's the movie. I thought you. Okay, let me show you a picture of him real quick. This guy.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna play Spike.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When's that supposed to happen?
I think it's been held up by, the pandemic and all that. One thing said it would maybe come out in 2021. It's only going to be 10 episodes.
Hopefully they don't ruin it.
I don't know. The director of Daredevil, what's his name? Alex Garcia Lopez. He's going to direct it. And the writer from Thor Ragnarok's working on it. Write the storyboard.
That means nothing.
Why is that? It means something.
I know,
Daredevil was great.
Yeah, of course Daredevil was great. But that's Daredevil.
Yeah.
This is Cowboy Bebop. Like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, it's going to be great. Just be let down. I'm going to undersell it until we see it.
I think it's going to be good. Because Daredevil was good. And it's not 100% accurate to the comic. It's really not, but it has the same feel to it.
Okay.
This grittiness that that would, I don't know. It has has a hesitant spirit, which a lot of things don't.
Daredevil was amazing.
Yeah. Like I bring this up a lot, but like the Dark Knight, people love that. People love the Dark Knight, but it is nothing like Batman. It is not Batman in spirit at all, really. I mean, there's some stuff that's similar, but it has no soul of Batman. It's just a crime drama that has somebody who's dressed in Batman's outfit. Anything else is pretty much garbage about it, as far as Batman goes. But those have a good feel to them. Same thing with like the Punisher and all that. Luke Cage. I don't know, Jessica Jones. We haven't watched that. Or what's his name? Iron Fist.
Oh yeah.
I heard that was terrible, so I'm not watching it. And it looks like garbage. So I've seen a little bit, like clips online, and it looks stupid. But yeah, I think the live action will be good.
Okay, it's gonna possibly be good.
Yeah, they haven't cast Ed yet, but they have all the other castings. They're not anybody major. There are a lot of like there's a couple people from big movies that are secondary characters, and other people from like TV shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who any of them are, without having to like straight up look them up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping it'll be good. I'm sure it will be.
I have faith.
Me too. Yeah. I love the show. I really do. I love that it's real. That's why I like Outlaw Star, or even like Farscape.
Oh, I love Farscape.
And it has that similar beat to it, where they're just people trying to survive.
Yeah, and they're constantly always eating the peppers. Isn't it peppers that they
Peppers. Mushrooms? Are we talking about?
No, they're always out of food, so it's always the
Oh,
same
yeah.
stuff.
It was
It's like
that-
peppers or something.
It's like peppers and noodles, and he was like, it's like peppers and beef or something like that, he
yeah,
said.
something.
And then Spike eats, and he's like, there's no beef in this. He's like, just pretend there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
I love that when they're actually broke and they have like nothing to eat and they're all like struggling, and I don't know, I really like that.
And they fight over like a peanut,
Yeah.
but Ian ends up eating it. Because they struggle with it, and it flies out of Ed's hand or somebody's hand. Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Oh, remember when they got all those mushrooms?
When they started tripping.
Yeah, but remember when they were like, Edward, instead of getting the bounty dude, he's like, hey, just take my mushrooms. They're worth like however many million or whatever. So Edward's like, okay. And then takes back the mushrooms, and then the cop comes, and then so they think it's the,
Psychedelic ones.
Yeah, mushrooms. And then the cop's just like, all right, have a good day. And then everyone's just like,
Huh? Oh, they're just shiitake mushrooms.
yeah. And then that's what they get to eat forever now because they
Yep.
don't have any money.
Yep. I like how Ed pretty much pulled an Ari Shafir and drugged everybody.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, she saw Ian eat one. He had a little trip. And then everybody else, Spike's walking up a forever staircase.
Faye's in the bathroom.
Drowning, trying to swim.
Yeah.
And Jet's just like hanging out, talking to his
Mhm.
plants, his bonsai trees. That's great. Yeah, I love it's a great series. There's a lot of little weird, goofy episodes like that. Yeah, only 26 episodes. You can blow through it in a couple days. You pace yourself well enough.
It's so easy to watch it. Just like Demon Slayer, we're like,
Oh, yeah, we've been blowing through that really quick.
yeah, because it's amazing, and I can't wait to finish it today and do a podcast about it later.
Yeah, we will. Cowboy Bebop always reminds me of Samurai Champloo in space. They have a similar dynamic in a way and has kind of a similar feel. It's like the same. I love the 90s animation. I don't know if it's just nostalgia or what it is, but I love the way it looks.
It's nostalgia.
It could be. It just has a not too realistic feel to it,
Mm-hmm.
where you don't feel like it's trying to be real.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like contrast to Demon Slayer, They have a lot of those like almost like 3D.
I love the different point of views. I love that.
I'm not talking like the POV, but like the when they cut to the town, you see the like stuff going by and all that, and it looks almost like 3D ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do like the POV where you see him like a sword in front of him, and he's running and things like that. It's different, but it's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was Fred running.
Yeah, our cat just took off like a rocket. One of our cats just took off like a rocket.
I think he's waiting for Sonny to come get him.
I guess so. He's usually the lazy one that.
He's not lazy. He's like, if you come to me, I'll play.
Yeah. He's not usually the one who starts stuff. He's not the instigator. Sonny is.
Yeah, he has been starting stuff though. Lately, he's been starting it. He'll just look at Sonny and be like,
If he starts getting a little bored, he will. But Sonny will just do it out of nowhere.
yeah, just run by and fly off the wall.
Yeah. Jump on a box, whatever, and there's a little box for it. Let's see. That episode list up. What do you think your favorite episode was?
Probably like the last one. I loved watching Spike go in there, blow everything up, even though he died. But I really liked that. I liked all the like drama, action. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Real Folk Blues, the 2-parter, last one. Let's see. I'm going through them right now. Mushroom Samba. That was the mushroom one.
I I liked a lot of them. I liked I don't know, I can't really pick, I guess.
Oh, Cowboy Funk, when that rich guy was being the cowboy. And you'd hear the whistle.
I hated that episode.
Oh.
That was the longest episode. I kept looking at my phone, feeling like we've been watching for an hour. That episode took forever to get through for me. I hated it. I hated that one.
He's the same guy. Darren Norris played Andy. He's also the guy who plays Stan Smith's dad in American Dad. He plays a lot. If you hear his voice, you'll know it because he played in like Team America as the leader dude. He's hilarious. Heavy Metal Queen, the trucking episode. I really like that a lot. Where you remember that one where they're tracking down the guy who has the little like bombs, the little nitro bombs or whatever they were.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And Spike was trying to guess that one, the trucker lady's name. And then she finds out she hates bounty hunters because her husband was one.
And he passed away.
No, he's in prison.
Oh, yeah, in prison, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that episode just when Spike, like, flung himself out.
Oh, yeah, he's like, what are you going to do? I'm doing my floating act, and he puts in the earplugs, he takes a breath, and he shoots his way to the thing.
Mm-hmm. That episode was cool.
I love the end where he guesses her name. He only takes a couple bucks, and he's like, yeah, I'll buy your husband something nice when he gets out. I can't remember what her name was.
Neither can I. I was just about to ask you.
See if I can look it up real quick.
Victoria or something.
Yeah.
I think Victoria.
I want to say it was Victoria. It was Victoria. Where is it? I know, right? It's not listed.
I think
here.
it was Victoria something. Victoria. Victoria. I can't.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay.
Terpentshire?
Terpentshire?
Terpentshire? Whatever her name was. I can't pronounce it. I'm terrible with names. Anyway, Spike guesses it, gets a little bit of money, and just says, keep the rest, keep the change, if you will. What else? What other episodes do we like? Let's see. Sympathy for the Devil, where that little kid was essentially immortal. He was playing the harmonica, and he's using people as puppets. I kind of like that because there's a little bit of magic in the show. or like that shaman that Spike would go to, looking for people, and he'd have the sand in his hands and all that. And then there's that from the moon being blown up when that gate went haywire and blew up, and that I gave that kid special powers to live
Yeah.
essentially forever. His one weakness was kryptonite. That's kind of what it was. Or a Waltz for Venus. That was the one where Spike runs into that kid who was trying to save his sister's eyesight. He joined that gang.
Oh, yeah.
That was really good.
That was a good one. I forgot about that one. That one was really good. And then
It was the ash plant.
yeah, and then when he passed away, oh my god, it was so sad.
Because he finally was like, oh, Spike, I did it. Where he flipped that guy over, and he's like, I move like water. Yeah. And he's like, good kid. And then he gets hit. You're like, oh, damn.
Yeah, that episode, that was definitely a tear jerker.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of... There's a lot of death in this.
Yeah,
There is. I mean, there's not a lot of happy endings.
that's probably why you like it.
Could be. A lot of stuff is final. There's not a whole... It's more in line with reality. That there's consequences to what you do.
Well, of course there is.
Yeah. But a lot of stuff doesn't end that way. A lot of animes. A lot of, like... I guess more of stuff like... I guess... maybe it's because when you're younger, you watch more kid shows. You watch kid anime like Pokemon or whatever. Or Digimon or anything like that. And a lot of stuff works out. And nobody really dies. Even in Naruto, characters that don't matter might die. But most people live. There's only a few deaths that really stick. That you don't want it to happen.
Like when Pikachu died.
Yeah. No. I don't think Pokemon age. They don't seem to age.
I don't think they do.
I don't know. Although Ash doesn't seem like he aged.
Well, just like...
Well, there's a theory about that.
I don't want to hear
Why not?
it.
Remember the first episode? Where Ash at the end sees that mythical bird flying?
Yeah.
That ends up being Ho-Ho. He's in like the second or third generation. I can't remember. Because I think he was in Pokemon Gold. I think that's the second gen. I don't know. It's been a while. But he ends up being a legendary bird. And they said when Ash saw him, like he kind of gained immortality. Or like eternal youth, so he could be a Pokemon trainer forever. And that's like the theory of why he never ages.
Who would want that?
That'd be awesome. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it would be awesome, but like realistically, to be immortal and watching everyone you love or whoever die,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd feel like it would just be awful.
Oh yeah, it'd be painful at first.
It'd be awful in the long run. I feel like it.
It'd be one of those you'd have to never have kids, and then your friends would die. Of course, your parents and relatives that are older than you now. You're gonna have to see them die eventually. That's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is at least but then you just live forever with no family, no nothing.
Yeah, but it'd have to be one of those where you travel all the time. You're making new friends along the way. And you'd have to be okay, I guess, with not setting down roots. But if you're a Pokemon trainer, you're constantly going around exploring, trying to catch Pokemon, so you'd constantly be busy.
Yeah, okay, but is it worth being constantly busy?
Yeah. For being the
Whatever.
best, you want to catch everything.
I want to be the very best.
Yep. No copyrights here. No copyright strikes.
I don't think I did it long enough.
What else here? Looking at the episodes. Toy in the Attic, that was the one. Yeah, that was the weird lobster he left in there. Jupiter Jazz with that. Jupiter Jazz, that was the one where Vicious saved that one guy, and he ends up being altered by the chemicals on, I think it was Mars or Venus or somewhere they were. some planet they were on, and he's both male and female.
Oh yeah, the guy that talks to Faye.
Yeah, and they have that weird where he comes out of the shower naked, and she's like, "What are you?" And he's like, "I'm man. I'm neither man or woman, but I'm both at the same time." Something like that.
Yeah, he says something, and I'm just like, what?
It was crazy.
Because when he or she, when it got in the shower, it was just like, no peeping now. And I'm just like, why? Why would she? You know, and then all of a sudden he comes out like butt naked, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah, and then because she realized who he was. He worked with Vicious. I don't think he's part of the syndicate, but he helped Vicious, and he was part of something.
Yeah, he did something with Vicious.
I don't know if that was part of the syndicate. They don't really say, or if that was some military thing they were doing beforehand. But it might have been part of the syndicate. Yeah, because him and Vicious were friends. Vicious gives him the little music box because he wanted to play it on some instrument. I can't remember on his guitar or something like that. Because he was in the bar playing music.
Yeah, but he gave him that in the war zone.
Yeah. Because he said, "Oh, what is that tune? I want to play it when I get back home." Yeah, and then the music box ended up having a tracker in it. And then
because you think Vicious is like being nice, like, oh,
yeah,
gave him that to like help him during the war and blah blah blah, and then come to find out it's got the tracker in it.
Yeah, and then he ends up using it by putting the bomb in it.
Yep,
giving it back to him in that bag. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, his name is Vicious, for crying out loud.
Vicious.
Yeah. You don't trust somebody's name is like that. Like, I know it's terrible reference, but the Green Lantern movie, the Green Lantern's main bad guy is Sinestro. He was part of the Green Lanterns, then he turned evil, whatever. He turned evil.
I don't know why that was so funny to me because
I don't know either.
Because I'm the one that always like
pulls a Michael Scott. Usually
pulls a Michael Scott. What do you mean by that?
Oh, you're crying! Goddamn, wasn't that funny?
No, the water's in my eyes because I keep yawning, so I'm trying not to like tear up. You know?
Yeah, but like, his name is Sinestro. That just sounds evil. It's I think it's like the name Latin for
Ashley.
Sinister.
Every
Ashley.
girl named Ashley is evil.
I guess
no,
so.
I don't know.
No.
I'm just joking.
But yeah, if you have an evil sounding name, you're probably gonna be evil in the movie.
Yeah, like Arthur. That's
Yeah.
so evil sounding.
Exactly. You're probably gonna be evil. You're probably gonna be a dick.
Tell your
Like
friends.
Artillery Arthur and tell your friends. Like Artillery Arthur and How I Met Your Mother.
Okay, Ted.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are some, I think, my favorite ones. Some of the better ones. There's some filler episodes. Kind of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I loved when Edward went to that like church. I think it was like a Catholic church or whatever, just to get food. She's like, "We're only here to eat."
Yeah. Yeah, that was when they were trying to like find Faye's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She saw the lion spitting out the water like a fountain, and
Ed knew where it was.
yeah, Ed was like, "I know where that is," and she's like, "Oh my God, take me!" So they left in the middle of the night, and then got there, and then he's just like, "Here it is." So that they're at like some church, and she's like, "What the hell?" And she's like, "We're only here to eat."
Mm-hmm. That weird fish soup thing.
Yeah, that Ed loved.
I mean, if you grow up on it, you know.
Well, Ed liked anything though.
Just about.
He ate that like lobster
Thing.
thing.
Yeah. Mutated old lobster that's in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was I love a lot of Faye's finding out who she is. Little tidbits here and there.
I liked that. I liked how at the beginning it was just some, hot girl that didn't know what the hell she was or whatever, and then
using her beauty to get ahead and get money and scam people.
And then, she wakes up and she has all that debt from being like frozen.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, what the hell?
But then she gets scammed by that dude who was pretending to be her lawyer.
And then he comes back in the end all fat and ugly.
He's like, it's a fat implant.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Fat implant my ass.
I wonder if that was part of the English dub and they changed it, or if that was like a joke and they just translated it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, but either way, I liked it.
Yeah. And she kind of still loves him, even though he's
Because
He's a
she's
dick.
thinking about the past.
yeah, she's thinking about who he was
Mm-hmm.
or who he pretended to be.
Yeah. Because he was, like, I felt like he was in love with her too, and then he just kind of had to fake his death just because they were like, nah, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But after all those years and then him being fat and just her thinking that he's dead and all of this, like, there's no way. Like, she just had that feeling and then was just like, I can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when he was in the prison cell and kind of hints at still loving her but trying to cover it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff. I like that.
But I feel like he was also trying to get her to, like, be with, like, save him.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Maybe a little bit, but I don't think he would have, you know.
Which girl am I thinking about? Oh, that must have been, Jet's girl that was fiancéed with that guy. That episode, I
Yeah.
liked that episode a lot.
That is...
When she was, like, on the pier trying to save him on the boat and they had to shoot him down.
Yeah, because he was attacked or something. What was it?
He had a bounty.
Yeah, he had a
and
bounty on him, but because he accidentally killed somebody, or he killed somebody in self-defense or something like that.
I can't remember. All I know is that was Jet's, like, girlfriend that just walked out and left him one day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was his, yeah.
I liked that episode.
Oh, yeah, because he kind of had to make that choice. If he was going to do his duty as a bounty hunter, or if he was going to, you know, let somebody go.
Yeah, let love stand in the way.
Yeah, but I think it was a good kind of metaphor for him letting go of her, too.
Yeah.
Like when he throws the watch in the water.
Yep.
And she's kind of like, hey, you know, where are you going? It was kind of like a role reverse. Because at first she was kind of like, I don't want to see you. We're done. And then at the end she was like, where are you going? And he's like, he just kind of lets her go.
I
Finally.
don't even think he said anything. He just walked away,
Pretty much.
which good for him.
Mm-hmm. He just kind of says, take care of her, you know, and then just leaves and he throws the watch in there and bam. Yeah, that was a great way to end that.
I loved that. That was a good episode.
Oh yeah, there really aren't any filler episodes. Everything is pretty well balanced, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a couple bounty episodes, like the mushroom one and all that. Or like Jet, tracking down. He gets a mysterious note. Yeah, a mysterious note from his old friend, who was in that like pocket universe almost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that was because he wanted Jet to get his daughter and take her out in space so he could say goodbye to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Mm-hmm. It's a good side episode. It's not necessarily filler. It's a good side episode that doesn't advance the main plot, but it's still a good episode. And I don't really think there's any filler, because everything does it lends more to story building about everybody, and it's not like Naruto literally has like 200 episodes of filler, where they're just garbage episodes you don't need to watch. That might be funny, but you know they're useless. And Cowboy Bebop doesn't have that. I think that's another reason why I love this anime, because there's no filler.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely it's a top tier 90s anime, I think. And I'm surprised at how many people don't know about this. Because like groups on Facebook that I'm in, a lot of people are like, what anime should I watch? And I'll say like this or I'll say Cowboy Bebop or Outlaw Star, stuff from like late 90s, and a lot of people are like, oh, I've never heard of that. And I'm like, you're only like 5 years younger than me.
Yeah, but if they were never into anime their whole life and just now getting into it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because, I mean, think about, like, us. When we got together, you were like, you've never seen that? What the hell? And I'm like, yeah, I wasn't really a TV kid. I didn't really care about that.
I guess so. I just assume a lot of people closer to my age watched like Cartoon Network, and they would see advertisements for this, or at least catch it once in a while, because they had it on like Toonami and all that. A lot of anime was on kind of in the afternoon, more of the younger teenage anime-ish stuff.
Yeah, but everyone grows up different, so.
I guess so. Some of the older stuff, like from the 80s, I don't expect people to know, like Akira or Robotech, stuff like that. I don't expect people to know that. Lupin the Third, that's a goofy anime, but it's older. I always want to put what was it? I always think something's in the 80s, but it's not. Anyway. But yeah, it was a good staple of the 90s for 90s anime. It's good. Because I kind of think you have to take things by era. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Demon Slayer. That's a new anime, but it's great.
Oh,
amazing.
So good.
It's amazing. It's very, very, very well paced. There's a lot of good character development. The world building's good. Everybody's not super overpowered.
Okay, enough about that
Yeah.
since we're doing another podcast about it.
But it's in its own era, and it's hard to compare it. So I think we might have to do some kind of category system for how we rate stuff like that. Maybe we'll come up with that later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll do like a 90s anime segment and then do more mid 2000s. Or we'll do 90s and early 2000s. And then we'll do more modern stuff. And then we can do older, like 80s kind of stuff too.
I like how you said 90s, 2000s, now.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
and
I said
80s, by the way.
modern stuff. Those three categories.
I know, but
Yeah,
then
yeah.
at the end you were like, and the 80s.
Yeah.
Like instead of saying 80s, 90s.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking, I wasn't thinking that in that order, but because there's a lot of good stuff from the 80s. Maybe not as many good things, but there's still good stuff.
There's some good stuff. I mean, we weren't born yet, so.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in the 80s. I don't know about you.
The late, like, basically 90s.
Yeah, 89.
Yeah.
And I was in February, so it's the
Fine.
very beginning.
Fine.
So I had almost a whole
Fine.
year. I had 11 months.
Fine.
Don't 10 months.
Yeah, because
Ish.
you're at the end
Very
of
end,
February.
yeah.
Still, that doesn't matter.
It counts.
Sucking on a chicken wing.
Yeah. Until I came out eating a hot wing. Some Franks on
Your mom want to eat that shit.
it. You don't know that.
She don't like spicy stuff.
Maybe she had a weird pregnancy cravings.
Yeah, she might have. I don't know.
Who knows? It's all a mystery. Mystery. I wish I had one of those echoey things.
I wish I had one of those things like Barney was just using where it was just like the
Oh,
voice.
yeah.
He was just like,
Makes you sound like Akon.
yeah. I would walk around the house all the time and be like,
I bet you would.
I would all day.
We'll try to find one for you.
I'd be a pop star at my own house. Do dance routines up in the living room.
I bet you would. Make out a space down here, doing like stretches and doing a flip.
Maybe. Yeah, because I would not flip on that hardwood floor unless I had shoes on. Because I would be afraid I would just be like, whoop,
Yeah.
fall.
The carpet down here will give you a little cushion.
Yeah, well, it's not even about that. It's just, grip.
Yeah, that too.
That's what I'm talking about. If I had shoes on up there, I could do it, but I can't do it.
Up there with cleats on or something. Some soccer shoes. All right, well, final thoughts on Cowboy Bebop.
It's awesome.
Who's your favorite character?
Watch it.
That's not a character.
Spike.
Spike? Yeah, I think Spike's my favorite.
1, he has amazing hair.
Yeah.
2, he has like cat-like reflexes. He's like amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like weightless. It seems like how he moves things.
Oh, he's real lanky and thin.
Mm-hmm.
So he's light and fast. He doesn't necessarily hit hard, but he hits quick. Yeah, I think the same thing. Probably Spike's my favorite. Ein at a close second.
That's what I was gonna say. I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, I think
I love Ein.
Oh yeah, I love Ein. He has some like he's one of those characters that doesn't need to speak
Well,
because he
he's
can't.
a dog.
Yeah, but they have to make him convey emotion different ways. But it's well done.
Yeah, he's a little corgi.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with the Japanese and corgis. All right, so I guess we should wrap it up here. All right, and that's our review of Cowboy Bebop. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know what you think.